Mise plus. First time I heard it was in this not-so-little book by Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Chef, a little book on accelerated learning. And then there's this book by Dan Charnas, Work Clean, which exceeded my expectations, only because I didn't really know the author. And it landed on my desk uninvited and unexpected, but wound up actually being very good. Mise en place is a French cooking term, which I will mispronounce for the rest of the video, if I didn't do so already. My apologies to francophones out there. And mise en place, basically, as far as we'll be using it, has two main high-level points. One of which is putting everything out in place so that it's all ready for you to use. And also acts as a checklist, which goes into this next one, which is always be cleaning. So you're cleaning up everything as you're going, so you don't wind up with a big pile of stuff to do at the end of it all. But at the same point, by eliminating everything as you're going through, you effectively clear the checklist. And the reason I'm bringing it up is not because this is becoming a cooking channel so much as it's the main mechanic that will drive most gameplay. Getting rid of stuff, clearing everything out. The vast possibilities of which I explore in this next clip, featuring me in bright pink nail polish explaining Cthulhu Flux. And if that sounds a little too weird, it only gets weirder from here. Alright, let's talk about Flux. The game of Flux, a very simple game that can become very complicated. Very cool design. But in this case, we're going to talk about Cthulhu Flux, because this is a magic channel. So, Cthulhu Flux. Alright, so you got the basic rules, and this is something that'll show up in all kinds of Flux games. Alright, let's do this. You got the basic rules. That gets thrown down in the middle of the table. Alright? Draw one, play one. And the cards themselves tell you what the heck to do. So you don't really need much beyond that. Now, the rules can change. That's a draw 4. So now you draw 4 and play one. Action. To play this card, do whatever it says, then place it on the discard pile. So you see, this could be very complicated. This bottom part. I don't know, because I haven't read this one yet. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, it could be any level of complication, but the instruction is, do whatever it says, then place it in the discard pile. All right? Here's one that changes the victory condition. This could end the game right away. It could change the entire shape of the game. But it's just one card. One card in, I don't know, lots of them. So this is an example of how something very simple can create something pretty complicated. Very good design. Thank you to the makers of Flux. So that simple mechanic of following instructions to get rid of things, I think you can probably see how that could be used to encapsulate all kinds of complicated scenarios. And yet, in theory, you could come into the situation and just begin playing based on knowing that the instructions are right there. It's going to tell you everything you need to know to participate. And that creates a good foundation for making all kinds of little games, because anything can become a checklist. Any desk that needs to be cleared. And in fact, when a desk is not clear, you can see that as a state that something needs to be done. And when a desk is clear, well, your inbox is empty. You can draw from the backlog, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves there. And more important than getting ahead of ourselves is closing our loops, completing our tasks, and always be cleaning. Now, the rate at which you empty an inbox or clear a stage may vary depending on the particular stage and how many irons you have in the fire. However, it is important that you have a system for completing it all, for wrapping it up, for making sure those goals and quests we set out on wind up getting settled down, getting closed out. You get to cash out, get your treasure. That'll be a little bit for an upcoming video on the suits. That is forthcoming. I'm looking forward to that one. And it's important that you enjoy the ride. This is kind of an appropriate scene for that you enjoy it. Make it fun. What's the story you're telling yourself about it? Can you enjoy getting stronger? Whether that's more money or learning another language or learning to juggle. That's coming up. It's a little teaser. Or whether it's learning to, I don't know, to surprise your wife with a little biscuit in the shape of a fish. Sometimes it's a fish, sometimes it's a monster. It's usually not enough for a full biscuit. So, what are you going to do with the little surprise extras that life hands you? Because they're going to be there. You going to be ready for it? You got to be ready to improv? Another little teaser. That game's taken on a life of its own. I should show you guys some of that stuff. All right. Always going to be stuff to do, people. And there better always be stuff to do, or what are you doing? Invent a new challenge. Enjoy the satisfaction of a job well done, being able to wrap it all up, gather up all your random bits, and prep for that next round. What's your next challenge? Spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. You know? What do you do after you squirreled away all your shiny stuff? And all your put out your trophies, whatever. I don't know. Find something new to do. Go on a new adventure. Live it up. But having a system for being able to do that, for knowing how well you're doing, and that leads forward into something we'll be talking about in a future video coming up, is what the heck are you doing? What's this all about? It's about the will to power, but it's not in the way that you would immediately think when you hear something like that. It's about getting stronger. It's also about getting stronger together. I've already written about it on the blog, and I won't go into it now because I want to kind of stay on topic for this, more or less. But check it out. This is the reset of an inbox. This is the reset, getting ready for the new story arc, as it were. Various elements being reused. Poker chips. Markers are everywhere because I'm always making new cards. But anyway, this is the main point of the mise en place mechanic. That it's supposed to make things easy on the brain. It's supposed to make things easy on, you can just look at things and see how you're doing. And, if everything's crazy and you need to reset, you can bundle everything up in one bundle. And then going through that bundle and figuring out what the heck is going on in there can be just one item on the new checklist of your life. But move on with your life and do the things worth doing. What's the big quest you're on? I'm not just rambling here. I'm also teasing at something going forward, which is, how do you want to shape your character? Whether you play the game in a formal way or not. See how he turned out. Or she. Might be. It's a cutie. That's all I can say. And there's one I made for myself there, just to add a little fun, a little monster power. Be seeing you.